1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we back. Y'all ready over there?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Ready?
Yeah, we missed a whole week. We back, so we got to be right. You know what I'm saying? We got to get right. Morgan, go ahead that freestyle real quick.
I don't know.
Did you see Morgan face?
Not a freestyle.
Now she normally be ready.
Not for the freestyle. I just
Not
seen
for the
the rapper's
freestyle.
lyrics.
You should have just started rapping their lyrics.
I don't know this song.
We don't know this song.
Oh.
We don't know this song.
Oh.
We don't know this song.
Oh.
But that
the
beat
beat
busted,
go
though.
hard.
That
But
Future
the beat
Metro
go
Boomin.
hard.
Come on.
Metro
man.
Boomin.
Yeah.
Make it boom.
All right, y'all. We back with the newest installation of My Turn, My Truth. Because when it's your turn, you do what?
Tell your truth.
Hey, all
Oh,
right,
yeah,
y'all got
we
that.
ate
That was
that
in
up.
unison. You know what I'm saying? We are doing it real big over there. So,
That's
of course,
what the Rice Girls do.
Period.
and right now you're looking at the Rice Man. Who else we have here today?
Marielle Rice.
Marielle Rice. Yeah, a double one on that right there.
She is filling in for her hubby that is out for 5 weeks. So you will see her in and out. I don't know if she decided to go consistently the 5 weeks or periodically, but we'll see.
Yeah, that part.
But Amada.
And it's your girl Ken. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at m.kennedii. Y'all know.
That's it.
Y'all know.
So for all of y'all that follow us, of course, we were not on live last week. We opted to watch the Democratic National Convention, the DNC. We had previously watched the RNC, which is the Republican National Convention.
We watched both.
And we wanted to give them both our full attention. And we did that.
And something else happened last Monday. I started my new job.
Oh, yes.
Big girl job.
Y'all, she adulting over here.
Yeah, she done did it big. She done stepped up in the world and got her one of them real jobs with real benefits and
I got
pensions
my insurance
and
card
insurance and all the good stuff. So yeah, you got a real job now. Proud of you, big girl. Big girl doing big things.
Yep.
So let's see what's on the agenda today. Let me pull out my notes right here.
Go ahead, pull them out, child.
Pull out the notepad.
Yeah, got the notepad out. Oh, first of all, before we get started, we watched the movie the other night.
Ooh.
We watched the movie the other night. Everybody's been trying to get us to watch Deadpool and Wolverine. And we were the slowest people in the world on watching this.
Yes.
I wanted to watch it, but then I was like, man, I don't know if I want to watch a comedy. I want to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Like a real action.
Yes, real action. And it had real action.
And real comedy.
And comedy all the way through.
I feel like it was a good balance between the two.
Well, we know y'all liked it.
I absolutely agree. I loved it.
Yeah, it was
I'm
really
talking about
good.
Marielle and Mackenzie. They didn't seen it in
Like
theaters
5 times.
twice.
Right. So it was a good flick, man. I liked the movie.
It was a good what?
Flick.
It's a good flick.
Man, Ryan Reynolds is hilarious the whole
Absolutely
time.
hilarious.
Bro, I was not. He always is funny, you know.
Yeah.
But this one, from start to finish, he was like, and it had great violence in the movie. If you're looking for action and violence,
it had just a combination of everything.
Everything.
Wait, can I say my favorite line from the movie?
Say it.
If you can hear my face, you can smell how sad I am. When he told that blonde lady, if you can hear my face, you can smell how sad
was cold.
I am.
That was real cold.
Y'all just got to see it.
What's up, Hop? Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Mr. Hop.
Hey, hop on board. What's up, my boy? That's my dude right there. Long time.
Yep.
You know what? When I first moved to the Drive, to Maplewood, in the first grade, Hop was right up the street. He kind of took me under the wing, make sure I was acclimated to the hood. You know, he made sure that I met all the people to be, and I was his little brother growing up. So I appreciate you, Hop, for winging me like that. You know.
Yeah, thanks, Hop, for taking care of my man.
That's right.
Oh God.
He said, "Hey, y'all."
All right, I know we started off and led off a little bit with the the Democratic National Convention, as well as the Republican National
the DNC for short
convention. Yes, RNC and DNC. But what do y'all think? I mean, I'm kind of like curious to know if you're not, because no one has to tell who they're voting for. Nobody has to say I'm voting for one or the other. But I'm just interested to know if you watched both, what were your takeaways?
Okay.
And that's something that we could either talk about tonight if you're fast enough to chime in, or something that we could, see your comments and talk about it later this week, because we might do an impromptu show later this week that we talk more specifically about that. Not specifically.
Notice how he said specifically.
Yes.
Rooting from the word specify.
Not an ocean. We're not talking Pacifically, like in the ocean. Okay.
Well, some people have a speech issue, so.
But anyway, people who just don't.
Hop said we took care of each other. That's like a lag in the conversation.
Yeah, we did though. That's for sure. When you boys, we handle whatever we want to handle together.
Right. We them boys. Hold up. So we them boys.
Okay, so you go start off with your take on both.
Yeah, what was
the
your
RNC, DNC, DNC, RNC?
There were some big takeaways for me.
Not big takeaways.
I guess the way I looked at it, it was two sides of the Libra scale. You had one that I felt was more inclusive. I felt like the DNC was more inclusive of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, them being a little more liberal, they are inclusive of more people, more things. They are more inclusive of women's rights, LG, the alphabet.
Plus.
I'm gonna mess it up, so that, and they're more inclusive of legal immigrants and things like that. Just more inclusive. Whereas, the RNC is a little more
conservative.
Not. Yeah. Very conservative and everything like that. One of the biggest takeaways for me is that the Republicans are really hammering Kamala Harris on the border.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They call her the border czar. She was never the border czar. There was not a position called the border czar. They kind of panned that name. But what's most interesting for me, that's one of their biggest policies they're running on is strengthening the border. And I find that extremely odd that when the bipartisan bill was put forth by the Republicans and the Democrats, they came together and came up with a bipartisan border bill. It was approved initially by the Republicans and Democrats. Then it got there, and at Trump's request, they shot it down. And it was bipartisan. And he shot it down because he wanted to make that a central focus of his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
If it was because he wanted that bill to be signed in during his administration, not Biden's.
If he got back in. Yeah.
Yes. Assuming he was going to get back in. So then this bill would have added, let me see here.
Go ahead, spit the facts, Shy. Spit the facts.
Right.
Something that we can do.
All right. So this bill would have, the bipartisan Senate bill would have added more than 1,500 new Customs and Border Protection personnel. 1,500. All right. It also would have would add an additional 4,300 asylum officers, and it would make the asylum process faster and fairer. The bipartisan Senate agreement would increase the detention beds to a total of 50,000. The bipartisan Senate bill will provide funding for an additional 100 immigration judges and their associated staff. So if people aren't eligible, they get them in and get them out. They don't have to wait as long in these waiting places, waiting for a judgment on can they come here legally or not. 100 new immigration judges would have been quick and decisive on that. If they need to go back, we were going to turn them around. We turn them around. It would also added 100 cutting edge inspection machines to help detect fentanyl and other drugs from coming over. So that's one of the big issues.
Okay.
It also would have added $1.4 billion for cities and states who are providing critical service to people holding places. This was what we all wanted. This is the toughest with the 1,500 new officers that help, enforce that.
Right.
They shot it down.
Right.
Because it wasn't going to be done under his administration, even though it was a bipartisan bill, then elected to say she was the worst on the border that's ever been in the world, when they had a bill present to start and he knocked it down just so he can campaign and say she was the worst.
Right.
Because they knew that was one of their big topics. And how dare they put a bill in under Biden and Harris that would have worked and strengthened our border, but they wanted to wait on it until he can get in the office and put it in place. Let's just hammer her and call her the worst ever. I find that odd.
Yeah,
that they knocked that bill, then going to run their centralized campaign around the border being one of their top 3 things to hammer her about, or to hammer the Democrats about. I just find that odd.
Okay, that was his takeaway.
Yes, a very, very, very big takeaway. I understand that they're posturing different. And one thing that they do, Kamala did get her policies out finally on the last day that she spoke. She got her policies out. He had his out. And we just, we have to understand who we're voting for. To me, if you're asking my personal opinion, this is not all policy based for me.
Of course not.
Absolutely not.
When a person shows you who they are, you believe them.
Believe them.
And I just see a lack of empathy on the Republican side. We understand that it's hard to empathize from something that you've never been.
Absolutely.
So if you've never been lower class or middle class, it's hard to empathize with what's going on in the lower middle class. Right. To understand that. And his plans to cut taxes for the 1%ers, the billionaires, and the 1%ers,
the higher class,
and add taxes to the middle class. And it seems to me that it's just logical. The middle class alone is 54% of the classes. It's the largest class in the United States. So wherever that class goes, so does the economy.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, if you pander toward the majority of the people, and then the top class is a very little percent, and the lower class is very little percent, but the middle class is the biggest percent. So if you focus on pushing the middle class wherever they go, so does the economy. It's the biggest class. Yeah. I think that's obvious.
101.
Yes.
High school.
Yes. So I understand why the Democrats want to strengthen the middle class, because that's the big class, the majority.
Right.
So there's some things that I think are common sense and things looking at it, whereas, Trump wants to, and he said he wanted to, which scares me, be able to fire certain, personnel and to hire his loyalists there who will support him and him only. That's concerning to me.
Absolutely.
It's concerning to me that he wants to stay in office long. He tried to stay in office last time. That he wants to, he said statements like, if you just vote for me this time, you'll never have to vote again.
He said that now. He said
that scares me. Because,
you can't unhear it.
Because we know he's made statements about, Kim Jong-un. And as well as Putin he admires the fact that they're still in office for so long.
Yeah.
And he wants to be in office for a long time. And we know that one of those reasons is that he has immunity as long as he's in office.
Absolutely.
So he wants to get there and make it so, write it into legislation that he can stay there. So he'll be forever immune for some of the things that he's still going to be on trial for.
Yeah. Right.
So he's doing it more so for himself.
And that's what Mike just put in there too. So y'all kind of talking the same language, because he said, look at the real reason the male candidate want to be president. He knows more charges coming and possibly jail time with it.
He's trying to shield himself. He also said that he was looking to grant
immunity,
police officers
pardons.
police officers immunity for doing their job. If they shoot a person like they shot this young lady in the face, Sonya Massey in the face, I was waiting for Trump to give some empathy on that, saying it was a travesty, it shouldn't have happened.
Right.
And when he first got an opportunity to speak on that, I was waiting. He's going to talk about Sonya Massey. He said he doubled down on he wanted to give police officers immunity for their on the job.
He wanted to hand that man his badge back.
Yeah, he wanted to hand him his badge back. And I'm like, really? Yeah. That's your stance? I was looking for his empathy with George Floyd. I was looking for his empathy on a couple other things. And I never saw it. But when Rittenhour was being charged, he said he went to bat for him and understood he was protecting
Kyle Rittenhouse.
people, innocent people from looters. So I just saw that his empathy lies on one side and not all.
Right.
And I have always been concerned about that. And what was that other point you were just about to say that I was going to say? He wanted to pardon all those January Sixers.
The looters, the rioters, the
came
thugs,
in and actually killed people, broke down, destroyed the Capitol. And I just feel like he's a true threat to democracy for real in the things that he does. And none of that is policy-based for me.
Yeah,
it's just an understanding the person that's running for office and what they really want to do. We haven't even got into Project 2025, in which he's tried to distance himself from the Heritage Group and the Project 2025.
But they keep finding its way back to him.
2 years ago, when he spoke, he said the Heritage Group, yes, a great group, they will be outlining my agenda for my next bid for office.
And that is what's happening.
Which is now, this is his next bid for office, people.
This is that outlined, policy that he's
led by the Heritage Group.
He said 2 years ago, the Heritage Group would be creating this policy for him to run on.
And what are they doing
And now that it's there, now it's called Project 2025. He don't know those people. He's kind of trying to distance those people. He said they would be writing it for him.
These same people who are heading Project 2025.
Right.
What were you saying, Mary?
I was just going to say, it's funny because he thinks that no one notices, and he thinks that he can say something now and then try to convince us that that's not who's backing that and supporting that. And this is not the first time that he's done that. So.
Right. And then in one of his speeches, he was saying, I think it was just an interview with a news anchor, and he was saying, they were bringing up the fact that, some of the things that he said and it's on camera and they can pull it back up and replay his words to him. And then he had the nerve to say that pretty soon you won't have a media anymore. And I'm like, that's very dangerous because what you want to do is wipe away evidence.
The accountability.
And
and
the accountability.
Wipe away any opposition to him.
Exactly.
He wants all loyalists.
He want all that. He don't want to have a trail where you can go back and pinpoint, like you said, opposition or accountability back to him, whereas everybody else have to adhere to accountability and opposition and all that, those things that that he's trying to desperately shy away from, that the phones and the media capture and try to hold him accountable. But my thing is, even in trying to hold him accountable, is I feel like we're doing a piss poor job of it, because for somebody to have 34 felony counts and then you want to just look at a candidate because of maybe the color of her skin, or maybe because of the narrative that another party is putting out there about her, and knowing that this woman has all qualifications and credibility. Not saying that she is your choice. I'm not saying that at all, but saying that as far as to attack this woman and to just downright lie on people, it's just amazing to me. And then we say that, this is the party of law and order. This is the party of Christianity and things of that nature. And then we look at your integrity and your character, and all those things are absent.
The fruits.
They're absent.
Right.
So that was my little tad bit, but I will go to the DNC and the RNC. Okay. So for the DNC, I felt like it was hope, because I tell my family and my husband all the time, it's just being, it's tiresome. It is so tiresome being an American. It's so tiresome being a Black American. It's just so tiresome, just having to just overcome a lot of the things that people probably feel about your race or what you're a part of. And it seems like there's nothing there to give us hope, or there's nothing there to try to help push us forward. But in the DNC party, I felt that. I felt like, okay, I can breathe a little bit better now, because they are bringing in unity. It ain't just about Blacks. It's not just about women. It's not just about whites. It's about the United States of America. We're all citizens. Right. And you can feel that that's how they're trying to, treat America. They want America to be diverse. They want Congress to be diverse and represent what America is. Mm-hmm. Whereas on the other hand, you just have people that are set in certain views or certain ways. And it's like there's no opportunity for anyone who don't fit inside of that. Mm. And I will say, as a Christian, because I am a Christian and I believe in the Lord, and all of us here do. And what I will say is I not one time saw Jesus turn anyone away. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Now he spoke to the sin and he rebuked and he did all of that, but he never once made anybody feel condemned.
Yeah, he came for the sinner.
And he came for the sinner. And then it's just like how the other side try to hide behind the word. It's just disgusting to me. It's really disgusting. Yeah. But Kamala, she did put out her point. She put out what she was running for. She's running for, she wants to build a middle class. She wants affordable homes. She wants to make sure that we have, affordable health care and keep it. Right. She wants to make sure that we do have control over the border with legal immigrants. She said several other things, but did she have time to sit there and pinpoint A to Z? No, she did not.
Well, neither one of them have pinpointed all of their.
Correct, right. But I'm making my point. So I'm just saying, because a lot of times in what I've seen on social media and TikTok, people say, "Oh, those are just talking points, those just rambling points," but how she's going to get it done. That's why I made that statement. Right. So no one in that forum have time to outline A to Z what they're going to do under each of those bullet points. But if you wanted to know, you can go and look for it.
But I was just agreeing with you, because they didn't do that either at the RNC.
Correct. I know what you were doing. So, I know what you were doing.
Because you only can speak for like an hour and a half,
right.
Or maybe an hour or less, and you don't have time to go into specifics on that.
Correct.
At that time.
Yeah, I know you was agreeing with me, but I was saying that for a certain reason.
So, my takeaway, I didn't watch the RNC and I really didn't watch the DNC. But my takeaway was the music and the turn down for what?
Oh, yeah.
Turn down for what?
The millennials.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, we was hard. When he got to Georgia, when we got to turn down for what? When Lil Jon came out, us three in the house, we was turned down. I'm not gonna lie. That was my takeaway from the national conventions.
And I also want to say one more thing, if I could, since we're on the subject.
Of course.
A lot of people are saying we felt different under Trump's administration.
Like the
economy.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I like it.
Felt different. We felt like we had more money in our pockets during the Trump administration. I want to say this. Trump inherited a good situation from Obama.
A good situation.
All right. Mm-hmm. The economy was good. It was good before Trump got it. He maintained it. Trump had 3 years and maybe 4 months of his administration pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. Everything was good. So for the 3 years and 4 months or so of Trump's administration, there was nothing wrong.
It was good.
So everything felt good.
Absolutely.
It felt like you had money. Around, 8 months before it was over, Trump had to run into COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm an employer, and I have to, assist in buying goods, and the cost of what I sell, dictates how much we can sell it for, the price,
right,
into you. So everything post-pandemic costs more now.
Absolutely.
The materials to make it more, a lot of companies didn't make it. A lot of people out of work. This is what Biden inherited. He inherited a economy which everybody was out of work.
Absolutely.
I mean, as soon as he took office, this was dead in the middle of we're all gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Trump had 3.5 years of none of that.
Right.
So I'm sure it felt different. I felt like I had more money when Trump was in office because it was pre-pandemic.
The situation.
And you had more money.
Different.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everything different. And everything was cheaper.
Right. Biden had everybody was out of work. My job closed. I was at home.
My job closed.
My wife didn't close, but everybody was now
working
from home
to work. Yeah.
You couldn't go to supermarkets. Everybody was scared of each other. We were social distancing. The economy went crazy. And the economy now, Biden got it back on track and rebounded. Biden and Harris got it back on track and rebounded from that. So when people say, "Oh, it felt different under Trump," yeah.
Also, that is why stimulus checks were given out. Let's just throw that out there too. That
I mean, the first couple Trump gave out, then Biden gave his out. You know,
right?
So there was that, and I know that.
And I hope y'all ain't voting for nobody for no dang on stimulus check.
But listen again, just like the border bill.
I'm sorry.
Trump was pro-vaccine at first.
Mm-hmm. He was, and then he changed.
And then because of when it came out, it was going to come out. The vaccines were going to be ready under Biden's administration. He backed up and said, "Why would we take the vaccine and everything like that and all that?" Because the vaccines weren't going to be ready under his administration. And it was going to look like Biden fixed it. So he wanted to nix and have everybody look at the vaccines in a terrible way. Even though he was with hydrochloroquine and all the other things that he was trying to promote, but the timing wasn't there.
And took the vaccine and they gave it to him.
And again, that's how he started the villainization of the vaccines.
Yeah. Of the mask.
Not
of
because
everything.
of what they were for, it's because who was going to get credit for it.
And that's how he is his whole life.
That's another thing.
Everything that he does, that's how he is.
And for me, again, not even talking policy yet. I'm disturbed by that from a guy who would rather see his nation do bad or continue to do bad under the border
unless he get credit for
unless the credit belongs to him.
Yeah.
If you love your country, you want to see it do well regardless of who's in office.
Absolutely.
So that concerns me.
You just want to be idolized. You just want to be idolized for what was.
That's good.
Yeah, I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Mike said, "Why do you all think so many people follow the male?" I'm sorry. That's another. I'm sorry. Same thing. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, the second one. No, there's the second one.
Oh, it's more. Oh, I thought I was reading the same thing. Mm-hmm. So it is. Is it more about the way he feels or more about us, common folk? The elections give a strong picture of the majority view of Americans. Yeah, I agree with that. So Mike, why you keep saying the male candidate? You don't want to say his name, but anyway.
Well, you know what? I did understand that there are a lot of men out there, policy aside, just doesn't think a woman can run the highest position in the world.
Right, but that's not what he's saying. But go there.
But I'm also going to go there too.
Yeah.
Yes. So because I know some guys just don't think that Kamala can look Kim Jong-un. And I question this and Putin in the eyes and strike fear in them and be a leader of our country just because she's a woman, you know.
Right.
What he said?
He said, "I can't say it, Mata." He's just not gonna say Trump name.
So
well.
Yeah.
And that's truthful. And I see that. I'm disturbed by it, but I do see that and hear that because when me and Marlon was watching the DNC and it was like a group of 12 or 10 people that was undecided which way they were gonna vote, and it was only 2 Black men, and then it was a mixture of white women and white men, and all of them said that they were going to vote for. Well, one said they were still undecided and was not going to vote. A younger white girl.
And 6 said
they were going to vote for Kamala. And then the Black man said he going to vote for Trump. Now, he went from not voting at all to after he watched the DNC, he's going to vote for Trump.
And his his reasoning was that Trump is more aggressive. That was
He'll
his.
Get stuff done.
Well, at least he got a reason.
Yeah, he just looks more aggressive.
No, I'm just saying, like, I can respect somebody that got a reason. Some people don't got a reason.
Well, their reason is that's their choice and that's who they're voting for. So your vote is your vote, but understand that your vote is your vote, but everybody else's vote is their vote as well. Mm-hmm. So you can't say my vote is my vote, but then get mad when other people don't vote like you. Your vote is your vote.
I would want someone around me, not just yes men.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And in the Democratic Party, they disagree. Not a lot, but they do disagree.
No, they disagree.
But they don't villainize each other for their differences.
Yeah.
Right.
They, he's entitled to his opinion. I do respect his opinion. Right. If you disagree with Trump and refuse to kiss the ring and agree with everything that he is,
exactly,
he will get you out of office. You will never be reelected for office. You are done.
Look at how he treated Mike Pence.
He literally pouts and gets mad and will
acts like a child.
And will attack his own if they don't agree with him wholeheartedly. Again, look at the person that we want. He has dictator aspirations, and he will eat his own if they don't agree with him wholeheartedly. I'm very concerned about having a lot of people around you that's all agreeing because they're scared of you and they want to hold their political position.
I think about this all the time, but it's funny because how Trump acts and how all these people idolize him is just a reflection of how they act. And that is just so funny to me because I'm like, he literally acts like a child. So we have a whole bunch of children voting for a child. So
I mean, that's one way to put it. Okay, but that you definitely have a point because on January 6th, they was in there screaming, "Hang Mike Pence," and just a few years ago, you was all for him.
Right.
Like,
there was a guard trying to hold the door that was stuck in the door. The people were praying. He was screaming for his life. His air was cut off. He was in so much pain. And there were Republicans calling him and saying, "Please get on TV or on the line, tweet to stop this." And they said he waited for a few more hours.
He watched it for over 3 hours.
He wanted to watch it. That's what he wanted. He said that we can't take over this by weakness.
We have to go by force.
We have to go by force.
You have to be strong.
He literally sicked them on the Capitol. And as the people were dying and people were hurting, he watched.
And said it was a beautiful day.
And he's going to be the president for some, but not all. Because the people that were hurting, he wasn't their president then. He was only the president for the people that were supporting him.
Right. Yeah. And that's why Kamala Harris said that she will be the president for the people, whether they vote for her or not. Amen. She will still be the president for everyone and trying to make everyone feel, the works of what she's trying to do as president. With Donald Trump, you don't get that same feeling and you don't get that same message. And it's like you can say that, oh, well, she's just saying words. Well, at least she's saying them. If Trump ain't saying them at all. What? I mean, at least
he tells you who he is.
He's telling you what he is and who he is and what he is and what he isn't going to do. And we already know that, like Marna has described in so many different scenarios, that he's the president of one group of people. Well, what about the rest of us? He tried to throw out over 80 million votes because he has 70 million something. Like, I'm like, okay, dude, you do understand that, it's more people in America that just whom voted for you. So you want their vote to be legitimate, but you want ours not to be. Right. And then you want to say law and order, the party of law and order, the party of law and order. And every time you take a freaking case to trial, law and order say it's not accurate. And you do not, you still, you cry, you cry, and you still spread lies instead of going by the law and order that you want everybody to go by. When people show you who they are, believe them. We do it in everyday life. Right. And then it was one thing, and I'm going to get off my rant because I feel the ranting coming on and my family know how I get with this.
Get her off the rant.
Like, if these two candidates was applying for your job, your place of employment, which one will you choose?
Especially a customer service job, like serving people, like in front, like doing the cash register. Who would you choose?
And then if they both worked for you and they're trying to come back as a rehire, which one would you choose? Are you eligible for rehire or are you not eligible for rehire? Right. It's that simple.
If you're at the hospital and they both were working there, one said, all Sanjay, all the experts in this area of the virus were saying this and it's scary. He said, don't listen to them. They're quacks. He has no PhD in this.
He got one now.
He's saying BS. That they're stupid. The worldwide experts in this are stupid. He said herd immunity. Some of us are going to die. We just want everybody.
A lot of people was pushing that. That was the real thing.
Right. And he was backing that. So if he was at your hospital and you going with this, he said, well, some of you are going to die. I don't have enough beds. So some will die, some won't.
As long as it's not me.
So the empathy part isn't there again.
Right.
Mind you, these people are quacks coming from the person that said, let's inhale and inject ourselves with Lysol.
Like, can we do something like that? Like the ultra rays from the sun. I mean, can we
spray it in the air?
Can we do something like that?
What? And what do we say? You try it first.
I'm terrified of
it's scary.
This guy.
Now we making light of it, but it's really scary.
Really, get a load of this guy.
Literally, he's the commander-in-chief of the military and is talking about using the military on the immigrants and anybody else that he wants out. He has complete control of the military. If president, he will give the cops immunity. He can sick the cops on you, and they will have full immunity from what's going on. And he will have immunity for anything that he chooses to do in office. So he will have the military, the cops, and he will be immune. All will be immune. And he will say that I'll stay in office. You'll never have to vote again.
He taking it back to that time of making America great again. He taking it back to that time frame.
For them.
And I've always wanted to ask.
It's the purge for them.
And I've always wanted to ask the MAGA community. Give me when you thought America was great again. Like, give me like a year or
a time frame, like
slavery time,
74. Like, I just want to know if we're gonna make it great again. Like, what time frame?
When was it great?
Are you referring to? Let me say, okay, that was a good time or something.
Segregation.
So, no one has ever been able to articulate for me the time point that they want to return to that America was great. Like, give me some definition.
But they articulated. They have not articulated it verbally, but they're articulating it with their actions.
But that's right. When they're flying the Confederate flags and everything like that.
He's only the president to white Christians. Christians.
Right.
So.
Really?
And that's his white conservative base.
He's and upper
it's only
class
benefiting
white
them.
people.
When black people, when George Floyd were having a peaceful protest, he called them a mob. Then when others were protesting, he said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. He would shoot his own citizens that he's the president of. But when the white people were marching, the racial ones, the KKK and the ones with the swastikas, he said, well, he didn't call them a mob, but they're good people on both sides. I love them.
Even January 6th.
Yeah. So it's like, where is the empathy for the other part of America?
Right.
That you will also be the president of.
Makes no sense.
There's none.
Like, you're going to be everybody's president, but they're good and everybody else, So
I want to get off him for a second and get on to some of his other folks, because everybody support him to me. And when I say everybody, I'm not talking about, because I have Republican friends, and I'm not talking about I'm talking about Trumpicans. That's what I'm talking about. And the MAGA Republicans. I'm not talking about just Republicans. Because even with Democrats, there are some far left liberals that I'm like, what the hee-haw are y'all possibly thinking of? And it's just like, you have that set that is direct in the middle for both parties. But I will say this. When Tim Wolf's son came on, participated in DNC, and he was just very proud of his father. And this is the thing that get me, y'all Christians out there that are Republicans, y'all just absolutely tore this 17-year-old kid a new one about how emotional he was with his father. First of all, that was a proud moment for their family, and that was a proud moment for him and his father. So it shows you somewhat of the relationship that he has with his father, to be that proud of his father. But then to get the backdrop, Republicans just, Ann Coulter, all these folks just attacked this young man and was talking about weird, because, Tim Walz was saying that, the other party was weird or whatever. Talk about weird, or, we won't want him to be a part of this or that, and he just overly sensitive and all this crying and carrying on, and just like that's just so weird. And then when you get the backdrop of what's really wrong with this child, now you want to apologize and back off of it because it makes you look like a horrible person, because you are.
And because your kids are the same way.
Oh.
Crying and carrying on.
Oh.
Crying and carrying.
Because I know y'all got kids.
She's a rice girl now, y'all.
Period.
I also, yeah,
she's around a lot of kids.
Yeah, but not for real though. She really loves for kids, and she really understands when you have autistic kids or kids that are dealing with things on that level, and she sees that a lot.
I've worked with kids who have autism. Also, know a lot of people who have ADHD. I was majoring in child development, so a lot of psychological aspects, and worked with kids for like 20 years. So
yeah, okay. and then you want to walk back your comments. Now stand 10 toes down, on what you said. Now that you know that, I didn't know that he had a disability, or I didn't know that he was special, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't mean it like that. Well, then how did you mean it? And then if it was a 17-year-old child that did not have those issues, are they fair game?
Yeah.
What is it? I don't get it. But then y'all want to attack the other side when I don't necessarily see that. Now they stand up and defend themselves. Yeah, Miss Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high, and I ain't gonna always be able to do that. I'm just not myself gonna always be able to, because I'm gonna have to be like Miss Jasmine Crockett. I'm gonna have to be like that young lady right there and give you the business.
Dog, what Shannon Sharp say? That man Shannon Sharp said the Bible say turn the other cheek. What he say? That's in the Bible. I ain't in there. I ain't in there. I can tell you what. They say strive to be like Jesus, and I'm still striving. So don't try it
Jesus
with me.
still flip tables, so
I'm just saying. So this child, y'all are apologizing because of
you got caught.
He had disabilities and all of this stuff. And he was crying. So what's Trump's excuse?
Well,
why is
Well, I don't want to make it a true Trump bash because he didn't say anything.
I'm just saying
that's what I didn't bash him at all.
A lot of that is coming from MAGA Republicans, not just regular Republicans. I'm just saying. So when your president get up here. Right. So when your president get up here and cry about a stolen election that wasn't really stolen, what's his excuse?
And we already know that is my very last thing I'm going to say about it. We do need to move to another topic.
Okay, let's move on.
He's already said the fix was then if he loses, it's rigged. So he has to play both ways. If he wins, it was fair. If he loses, it was rigged. So it was stolen if he loses, but only if he loses. Because if he wins, it's fair.
Yeah.
But either way, guys.
We moving on. We don't beat that horse to sleep.
Yeah.
Morgan, you had something you want to talk about that you were talking about earlier.
Y'all. I seen a video on TikTok. I don't know.
We're on a whole nother topic.
Yes, I seen a video on TikTok. I don't know the young lady's name, and I'll drop the link in the comments a little bit later. But basically, she drove her car that she paid for to work. And she came home after her shift when she got off at 8:00, and her boyfriend was mad. And the first thing he said was, "Where you been at? Why didn't I drop you off? I always drop you off. What if I had something to do?" Like, you're inconsiderate. You're inconsiderate. There's a car outside. I needed the car.
Right.
Do he not work?
I don't know what he do.
But she also said that he would sometimes take her car, and she would have to Uber
to
back
work
and forth to work.
And she has a car. Like, that's her car in her name.
So basically, he's just controlling.
And yes,
he's smooching.
He want the car while she at work so he can do whatever he want to do.
And next video, don't forget that next video when he was 2 hours late picking her up from work. And she comes back and she says, and I quote, that he had homeboys in the car and the car was smoked
they were
out.
In the car right now.
Yes. And that the car was smoked out.
And she always fills the car up, and every time he goes to come back,
it's on
E.
And that morning she filled it up, and that night it was on E.
You come back with all your homeboys in the car.
2 hours late
for my gas too.
Smoked out.
2 hours late picking me up in my car
on an empty tank.
And she put him out. As she should. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, this is absolutely really ridiculous. And he was like, when she was putting him out, he was like, move, man. You're pissing me off. All this stuff. Those are signs of
a narcissist.
Possible abuser. Because that is scary.
Fellas. It's like he's right, but he can do all this stuff to control.
Come on, fellas.
So. But then again...
Mike said, Hop said, like Jody on Baby Boy.
Yeah.
But then again.
And Mike Brown, what's up?
That's Hop.
I know, but Mike Brown is always.
Okay,
on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, but Hop, you're right about that.
And on the other side, because we're going to sit here and bash this guy. But this girl's clearly is not the first time that she did this. Hence, she's making the video.
Yeah.
Ladies need to know to leave. Leave the first time. I'm sorry. We was just talking about this the other day. With certain red flags, you leave the first time.
Yeah.
The first time that it happened.
And in the microcosm, if you have a situation where you were the guy, he used to work, something happened, he's no longer employed, he's still looking for a job, actively looking for
and that's different,
a job, and he has ambition. I don't see anything wrong with him dropping you off so he could pursue findings.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a difference.
Absolutely.
That's not this situation.
But if he's at home playing video games all day while you're at work,
and smoking
his car,
and you supporting him, and he is not trying to find work, you got your dud.
Yeah. And then you don't even have the respect to come get the girl from work on time. And you driving around your homeboys. Right, and then you're going to tell her when she said, why are you 2 hours late? Don't start this today, man. In my car, she was rightfully so putting them out. Because in the comments, I saw some people saying, you shouldn't have put them out and made them walk. Oh, this is my car. This is my car.
She paid for that.
You're going to walk.
And they should have ran out her gas. Now where we at?
Mind you, in another video, she asked him to pay for, help her, not completely pay for tires, and he got out and started walking, so he didn't have to help pay. That right there is a little boy.
We didn't listen to Goodemar, CeeLo, and he said you need to get up, get out, and get something.
Don't let the days of your life pass you by.
You need to get up, get out, and get something. Don't spend all your time trying to get high. I mean, sometimes we just got to get it, y'all. We got to get it.
It's ridiculous.
Find a way, like. And they're jobs that people say are beneath them. Like, they out of work. You taking care of them. But McDonald's is beneath them.
That's what I'm
Bro.
saying. Yeah.
That's a
Publix,
Winn-Dixie
is beneath them. They'd rather bring nothing to the table.
And watch you struggle.
And watch you struggle. Than go at least try to make some minimum wage up to contribute something to their situation.
Yeah. We always talk about that, and I just never understood how
I ain't working
when
fast
people,
food.
I don't want to work fast food. I don't want to work this. Like, you can't also be looking for a job while you're working fast food.
You're working for
because when I worked at Country's, did I want to work there like forever? Is that my long time job goal? No. But you know what I was doing? And hence why I got another job, looking for another job while I was there.
You got to stop the bleeding. You got to put a Band-Aid on it.
Right. You got to make something.
Job you can get.
Make some shape.
Let my woman struggle.
Right. I was going to say.
Because I'm sitting at home looking for a certain type of job.
Right. If it's really important to you and you are really struggling, or you really care that whoever your spouse is struggling, then you would get any kind of job to contribute.
Right. And that shows if they actually care about you or not.
Right. Yeah. Right. All that.
That is insane. That is crazy. Cause me, and then they get mad at me because I told her in the comments to leave him. I got so many comments back to me. I was like, dog, I'm finna go TikTok viral, ain't I? Dog, no, they telling me
it's a couple people watch. I want to give it to my boy Adonis Harris, AD. You
hey.
know, your track better right there. And Adonis, I was better in geometry. And Giselle, what's up, Giselle? How you doing? She worked with me at Toyota. So thank y'all for stopping in and watching.
Thank you.
Okay, and we also have over here Miss Jaquetta Jackson. She is a sister in Christ, so she is also watching us as well. I can't see anybody else. Of course, we already shot out Mike. So what's up?
Absolutely.
Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in.
I don't know. I told that girl to leave him, and the girls and the guys was jumping on me. Leave immediately. Would you leave? Yes. And then again, this is where I say, this is my personal standard. Mm-hmm. If I have a job and I have a car, the bare minimum and my requirement is that you have a job and you have a car. And even if you don't have a car, but you're trying to get a car and you're almost there, like Dad said, and you're looking and you're trying, we can tell. And we can tell when somebody's trying and when they're not trying. Because all of this right here.
Yeah, because things happen.
Absolutely. I lost my car.
And people lose cars and jobs. You have to be able to prove that you're trying to get it. Your ambition has to come through.
Well, his was not there at all.
Oh, clearly not.
And I know there's two sides to every story. We hadn't heard his. I understand that, but it doesn't look good.
Even from the way that he was responding to her in the video, he wasn't even responding like, man, I'm trying. It was, man, don't piss me off. Like,
yeah, it's like he's trying to turn it back on her. Like she's like doing something.
Why would I go Uber when there's a car outside?
When I pay for that car.
Uber when she got a car in her name. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like crazy.
It's literally insanity. That's crazy. Expecting the same results.
I don't know.
Or different results.
But, they got mad at me for saying my standards. And you know what I said to all of that? If you can't meet them, push around.
Right. I said
that's all you got to do. If you can't meet the standards that I have, then I'm not for you. Push around to somebody else.
100%.
That's it. That's all.
That part.
You wear that on your shoulders.
Are you?
No,
I'm playing tennis match over here.
Just.
Yeah. Now, because you look at sometimes you get down, you're trying to get it. When I think about the movies like Acrimony, she saw something in him.
Absolutely.
And he was smart. He was trying to get this stuff done, but he wasn't going fast enough, and she ended up leaving. Right. And then he blew up.
We go tell the whole story, but go ahead.
Yeah, but we know some things happened there.
But it wasn't just simple as that.
Sometimes it is work that if you see the ambition there, I'm just trying to bring
the ambition part. Yeah.
Then you can work with a person.
Absolutely, you sure can.
Who's not on their feet all the way right now.
Absolutely, I'm willing to work with you because look at my.
Well, the thing is, you have to see the ambition. But I'm telling you, ladies, you do not get into a date because of ambition. You don't. I mean, not date, but relationship because of ambition. You don't marry because of ambition. No. I'm saying sometimes it got to be a little bit more than ambition. And with ambition, there has to be fruit behind the ambition. Because if you talk a good game, but I don't see no fruit ever, that ain't ambition. You just telling me a long, boring story.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Right. And of course, they're coming from a lady's. A female perspective.
Of course.
We're different. We'll take a girl that ain't got no job and work at McDonald's and Wendy's, and we'll wife her and make her happy because I guess we figured that we're supposed to bring the money in and stuff like that, and we don't care. Most men don't care about a woman's financial situation if she's working or whatever like that. If we like the girl, we like the girl.
I ain't saying make six figures or nothing like that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying ambition.
I didn't say a figure at all, but I know that there is a difference between a man and a woman.
And it should be.
When it comes to this, because fellas, we typically don't care. We'll take a broke woman and don't care if we like her. But on the other hand, we should be aspiring for more. If we're going to want to look at headship, and headship has nothing to do with where you rank financially, right? But it has something to do with your intentions to lead your family well, and you can't do that without a job.
I was finna turn it around because I was finna say, and me and my cousins and my friends always have this conversation. Because especially at my age, because you're really not going to see nobody at my age making six figures. There are some, but that's like one-offs. Right. So I'm just saying at my age, women, let me clear my chest, do not have a standard that you cannot meet. Mm-hmm. That's just me.
Oh, boy.
100%. That's why I said 100%. I have a car.
Yes.
And I have a job. So my requirements for you is you have a car and you have a job. Something that I can also provide. So it's not that I want you to be 6'5", fit, making 17 figures. No, at this age, women too, we just got to be able to reciprocate, because just like this story, you don't need to be sitting at home wanting Birkin bags, not doing nothing, and watching that man struggle and mad because you didn't get what you wanted for your birthday.
Yeah. Absolutely. And fellas, she don't need to be Ubering to work while you got her car all day, back to the story, and driving all her gas out, and got your homies in there smoking it out. That ain't ambition.
Nah, I'm sorry.
Women, you better be working just as hard too.
Right. If you're 2 hours late picking me up and you have the nerve to have somebody else in my car,
yeah, that's
I'm putting you out too.
I would
know. I'm putting you out too. I'm putting you out too. I'm not gonna lie.
I would request money from all of them too.
I don't. You gonna fill up my gas tank.
Yeah, I would ride.
The thing is, he should have requested money from all of them.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. Right. She shouldn't have had to.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You know.
But I don't know. For me, it's just, I don't feel like you should be picking up nobody in her car.
I'm excited that I am not having to be in the dating world right now, because it's some
We've been
horrible,
out the market for 33 years.
It's been some horrible stories.
What I told you the other day, Mama, you said you glad you ain't in the dating game. I said I ain't in there either. If it happened, it happened, dog. I'm not in there either. Because I'm telling you, I have a dad, and you got to go through my dad and my brother and my uncle.
Right.
And her mama.
And her sister.
I'm just saying, as far as males, because I have a dad who go to work and provide for his family. So I'm not going to take the bare minimum bottom of your shoe, because you having a car and you having money, you should do that. You're of age to do that.
Right.
Like, guys be like, oh, I got a job. Like, that's supposed to... I would be concerned if you didn't have a job. If you didn't have a job, I would be more surprised.
Man, I've talked to young dudes who like, man, I ain't have a job. I said, looks a job at the warehouse. It's delivering furniture. It's some hard work, but I mean, it's a job. Nah, I'm trying to get into IT or something. I'm trying to get me a sit-down job or something. So you rather remain. I know a lot of guys. I have offered. I have been in employment for a long time. I've hired probably over 400 to 500 people in all the jobs I've been at. I've interviewed thousands and hired hundreds.
Period.
And there are a lot of jobs out there. But we want what we want, so we'd rather do nothing than to do something. And that is the part. If I see that in a guy, he's not for my daughter.
Absolutely.
You know, but that's going to be her choice ultimately. But nah, bro.
My dad always used to tell me, work from the bottom and you start at the bottom, you work your way to the top.
Right.
And that's not just for me in life, but in work, and that's for everybody too.
Right.
Absolutely. You can't start at the top of the ladder. You got to get to the top by climbing.
I started off in microfilm, aka mailroom, and been making 6 figures since. And I started off at the
bottom of the
most entry level job at Aflac that you could possibly
because you can't
I made $5.77 an hour, $5.77 an hour when I started at Aflac.
Wow.
You cannot despise your small beginnings, because the thing is, you be faithful of those little things. God will start to open up doors for more things for you. But a lot of times, the door openings that the Lord offers, sometimes we feel like it's not big enough or it's not good enough. And you just don't know what the connect is going to be through that door.
Absolutely.
You just got to go through it.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
And guys, you have to take pride in yourself. One thing that I learned from my grandmother, Miss Willis Spellers, I love you, G-Ma. That's my baby. And my mama.
Nanny.
Nanny, that's right. When I was working at Arby's, which was my first job, my grandmother started off ironing my apron every day and made me iron my apron on my own every day. I'd go to work at Arby's, slinging roast beef with an ironed apron. My pants had creases in it.
It did. No lie.
And they were like, bro, you wash your apron every day and iron it every day? Absolutely. When I started the mailroom, making $5.77 an hour, it wasn't required, but I wore a shirt, a button up, and a tie every day. They said, man, bro, you work in the mailroom, you wear a shirt and tie. To upper management said, I can see him at the next level.
Yeah.
Not what I was doing, but just could you envision this guy in a shirt and tie at the next level? Bro, you have to become
for real. Dress
the position you want, not the position that you're in. And these old teachings that my mom and my grandma were profound at, there have been lost somewhere. I see people coming to interviews sagging and
crop tops, booty shorts
with Crocs on at an interview. I'm like, what? It's just that we have to understand where's the OGs and the parents at, and the parenting when we're talking about encouraging their children to do better, go get a job, dress for the position that you want, not the one you're in, act the position that you want, not the one you're in.
Correct.
Where are those teachings there? We need some more of that.
Yeah, I know you're right, because I wore a jumper and a blazer.
That's
the
right.
Chicken salad chick to wear jeans and a dirty chicken salad shirt every day, and to wear short booty shorts and a tank top every day to the countries. So I mean, it is what it is.
Well, we're an hour in. There's a couple of more topics on here, but I think we'll get to them next week.
All right.
And again, guys, if you disagree with us, which is fine, when it's your turn, you tell your truth. Let's just be. I respectfully will listen to anything that you say respectfully.
Absolutely.
And I will do the same. If there's something that you have an alternate opinion that you want to be more vocal on, I can have you on the show. I don't mind.
Right.
Having opposing views on the show. That's how we grow. There may be some things that you say that may, make me wiser, and maybe likewise. So I'm not telling you to do what I do. I'm just telling you my reasons why at this point. So again, if you have some comments, put them down.
Mike said, "Go to the right." I don't know what that means.
He said, "Tell him, Marlon, go to the right."
Go to the right. It's an inside joke. We'll talk about it next time.
And then I want to, cause you tuning in late. We finna get ready to end it.
We
now.
love you,
Adnan.
Love
you much.
Now we know who that is. Adnan.
That's my dude. That's my dude.
Gotta go to the range.
That's right. When the apocalypse, if it ever comes, I hope not. We're hooking up with my cuz. We're gonna link up and we'll put all our resources together. Cause you got a lot of them, cuz. And you getting it. I'm telling you, do you.
He said sexy red for president.
Absolutely not.
You forgot the other D after red.
Absolutely not.
Well, all right, y'all. It's about that time. We'll see you next week.
Wait, follow us on Instagram at My Turn My Truth. Subscribe to My Turn My Truth on My Turn My Truth podcast on YouTube, and follow our page on Facebook at My Turn My Truth. We love y'all.
We love y'all.
All that.
Until next week, hit us up with give us some topics, y'all. We want to talk about what you want to talk about.
Exactly. Call in. Come on the show.
That's right. That part. And we out, y'all. Love y'all.